There we go. I think I'll just sort of... Oh, there we go, there we go. That's looking a bit better now. How's that? Oh, you're still going to need a bit of adjustment, aren't you? Oh, definitely getting closer, that's for sure. Oh! Hello! Hi, it's good to see you. I promise I wasn't playing. It's okay. I was just making some little adjustments on this mask that Isabelle tinkers with now and then. Yeah, she asked me just to sort of calibrate it a bit and see how it works. So I was just doing some little minor tweaking to it and seeing how it looked. But hi, it's good to see you. It's been a little while since I've seen you at the Brass Menagerie. Yeah. Oh, that's right, that's right. Isabelle said you stopped by not too long ago. I had just already headed out for the day, so I didn't get a chance to see you. But yeah, it's good to actually be here. And of course you're always welcome. Well, I mean, of course everyone's always welcome. You know, anyone who needs anything, Isabelle can do it. But you especially, you're one of her favourites. Yeah, of course you are. You are very curious about things. And of course you always give her such wonderful business too. And making things that Isabelle finds fun. Not just your typical little gadgets and things that people around Whisperwind need. Yeah. Normally for the things that you need, she's got to go to Danwood or maybe even Eshon to get orders for. Yeah. Although, actually, just recently there was this sort of messenger person who was here and they were helping, you know, take orders to and from Eshon for Isabelle, which is real nice. Yeah. Her name's getting a little bit bigger, a little more out there, which is good. She deserves it. She deserves all of it. She's absolutely a genius in everything, so I'm glad. I'm glad that she's getting her name out there with some new orders and things. Yeah. Speaking of orders, are you here to check on your helmet? Oh yeah, it's coming along really, really nice. Yeah, it's not quite finished yet. Isabelle wants to make sure that it's absolutely perfect, so I think most of it's done, but she's got it in the back for some testing and things like that, and then I'll polish it up nice for you. Yeah. But I love the design you chose. Yeah, it's really nice. I think it'll be great. Isabelle actually let me work on it a little bit. Just a few things, don't worry. And of course she checked everything that I did, so I wouldn't have made a mistake for you. I would hate that. But no, it actually went really well. Yeah, she's been giving me some bigger jobs to work on and things like that. It's felt pretty nice, not gonna lie. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, if it hadn't been perfect, then of course Isabelle would have made sure that it was before actually giving it to you. But thank you for the vote of confidence. Anyway, it's your helmet's not quite ready yet, but it should be ready probably in a day or two, something like that. You can come back and get it. Yeah. Is there anything else that I can do for you while you're here? Oh, sure, yeah, you can go ahead and just sort of look around. I'm going to be just tweaking this mask a bit more, okay? But of course, yeah, holler if you need anything, okay? All right. Let's see. Let's go over here. That's what's making that part a bit tight, you know? I just want that filter to stay in place, but it's just a bit, there we go. What? Oh, those. Those are, well, actually they're probably not something that you want to buy yet. No, it's actually something that I've been working on a bit in my free time. Yeah, I mean, Isabelle gives me, you know, different jobs and things to do around here, but she says that with my downtime, if there's nothing for me to work on, that she wants me to start experimenting with things, I suppose. Tinkering, she calls it. Just sort of letting my imagination take me. That's how she puts it anyway. Never stop imagining what could be. That's what she said. I know, it's quite incredible really to have someone like Isabelle just give you free rein to make whatever you want. I'm afraid I haven't made anything big and amazing like her yet, but in time, maybe. And at least she's not afraid of me making mistakes, accidentally blowing up her shop or anything. The other day I accidentally set fire to some of her notebooks that had notes and measurements and sketches and things like that. I felt so awful. But she just shrugged and said, things happen and it's all right. I thought she was going to be furious, but she wasn't at all. She wasn't angry at all. It's crazy. I suppose, you know, she said that she's made her fair share of mistakes. So it's good to have someone who's willing to teach you and willing to let you make mistakes without getting angry. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been great. Oh, these. Yeah. These are, well, they're not quite anything yet, but they will be. Hopefully something that will be very useful, especially for a traveller like yourself, actually. See, we have lots of useful things around here for you know, making life a bit easier, gadgets and things like that. And we have these little lights. They're like little portable torches that Isabelle has made, and they're fascinating. But the only thing about them is that they take some sort of a power source, and it's difficult to bring that with you to places, you know. We need to make some sort of a portable power source that would help things last a bit longer than they do naturally. Maybe that's something I should work on. Anyway, but I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have some sort of a light that you could carry with you all the time? So these are sort of like little portable torches. Yeah, they're just these little yellow balls. You can see them in there. And when you take one out of the jar and you rub it in your hands a bit, it ignites into a light. Not actually into fire, because obviously you wouldn't want to hold fire in your hand, but it's supposed to just be this nice, cool light that can help light the way or something like that. However, unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to make them stable, I guess. Like they work and they give you light, but as soon as I open the cork here, they all start to glow. Yeah, so it's like exposing them to air. It makes them glow. But after you put the cork back on, they all just sort of fade, so it's okay. But I'm not sure how to make that not happen. I suppose maybe I could just sell the jar of it, you know, and then you could just open it and close it and it would work that way. I'm not sure. I've still got to give it a think. We'll see. We'll see how it works. You want to see it? Okay. Why don't you take a step back just in case, okay? No. It should be fine. They don't really explode. Not very often, but just in case. It's always best to be safe with experiments, you know. Okay, ready? Cork's really on there. There we go, ready? See that? See how they glow? Yeah. And this is something that it doesn't need another power source. It's actually made by combining different elements and substances like that. Almost sort of like lightning bugs. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I still want to figure out how you can take out one and just use one, because obviously this jar won't last forever. Eventually it would run out of power, even with all of those in there. But it's a work in progress, I suppose. Then you put the jar back on, and once they sort of use up the air, I guess, they just sort of fade. Like that. See? Anyway, so it's a work in progress. Isabelle was quite pleased with it though, which is very exciting. You know, it's nice being with someone who's like-minded. You know, sometimes I would make things or tinker with things at home, and my mother would, I mean, she was supportive, but she never really caught the sort of excitement that I would get when I made something new. That's just, you know, different interests, different personalities, I suppose. But Isabelle loves it when I make new things. She loves it so much. She gets almost as excited as if she had made it herself. It's wonderful. It's quite encouraging, really. Yeah. I love working here. I don't even really feel like work, you know. If you're enjoying what you do, it doesn't really feel like you're working. It just feels like fun every day. And every day I get to learn something new. It's wonderful. Anyway, so that's those. Not quite finished yet, but hopefully someday. You can go ahead and put those back. Oh, yeah, I guess I've made a few other things. Nothing super impressive yet, but you know, I've made a few sort of practical things, and then some things that I'm still working on. You want to see? Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm used to, you know, just showing Isabelle's things, and normally I just sort of pass over my little measly trinkets and things, but if you'd like to see, yeah, sure, of course. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, let's start with this one. It's actually rather simple. It's not anything crazy and inventive, but it's very, very useful, I think. Yeah. It's a cuff, like a little a leather bracelet that you could wear on your wrist. Obviously, that's where bracelets go. And it's got a few different functions. One, it does help protect you, and if you wore it, you know, on the arm, like if you were an archer, it would help to sort of protect you from the bowstring, things like that. But it also has a few different little things on it, like these little glass vials in there. See, there's 3 of them right there. 1, 2, 3. And you could fill these with really anything that you needed. A healing potion, or, you know, if I wore it, I should probably have something in there that would extinguish a fire quickly. Maybe Farron could invent something like that. Well, not invent, that's the wrong word to use for her. Create it, I suppose, through plant magic. Whatever it is she does. I don't really understand, but maybe she could make me something. That would actually be good to just have around here. We do have, well, not like a lot of fires, but more fires than the average place, I suppose. I guess it sort of comes with the territory. But you could fill these with anything you wanted. And then you've always got them right here, right on your wrist. So if you're hurt in battle, you need a healing spell, or if you've been poisoned or something and you need an antidote or an anti-venom or something like that. Or maybe you just need a bit of a strength booster, you know, increase that strength of yours. Something like that. Anyway, yeah. It's just a little thing. I mean, it's not like Isabelle couldn't have thought of something like this, but I thought it was useful. And it is quite fun too. It's interesting looking, you know. Isabelle really liked the look of it, so I put some extra time into stamping some designs here on the leather, yeah. Giving it sort of that bronze finish in a few of the places. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Like I said, it's simple, but it's very, very practical, I think. Like I said, nothing like what the genius mind of Isabelle would come up with. But it's a start. Isabelle always says the best inventions fill a need. I mean, that makes sense, I suppose. Why would you want to invent something if no one needed it? Well, okay, I guess sometimes we want things, and that's fine too, but start with a need. Something, you know, try to make something easier, or make something more convenient, or help people in a way that would improve their lives. And just start thinking about, what if we had this? Or what if we could do this? Or what if there was a thing that could do this other thing for us? That's how good inventions start. Always just keep thinking. Anyway, it's pretty simple, but it's nice, yeah. Oh, wow, thank you. Anything else? Well, you know, actually, I don't know if you remember this little thing. This is something that I made when I was just a child. It's a submersive machine. So it's some sort of a contraption, almost like a carriage, but something that could go underwater. So growing up in Tivermac, next to the ocean, I always got to see, you know, people going out to sea and things like that. Fishermen would come with these crazy tales about things that live out in the waters. But of course, no one really knows what's out there. Not really. Like, we know some things, but not to the extent of what's actually down there. So I started thinking, as a child, what would it be like to actually be able to go under the water and stay there for a while, you know, and actually learn things and actually go deeper. So I made this tiny little model when I was a child. It don't actually work. I mean, you know, these are supposed to be little lights, and I don't actually have lights on there. But, you know, it was just to give an idea, I suppose, of what it would be. And then there's different tools here, you know, a little saw there so you could cut through something if you needed to, if something got in your way. Little grappling hooks so you could grab things that you find. And then these are tanks that are filled with air. Yeah. Anyway, so Isabelle found this. Yeah, I brought it with me just sort of as a memento of my childhood and, you know, growing up in Tivermac. But I never really meant for anything to come of it. But Isabelle found it, and she was fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated. She kept asking me questions about what all of these different things were, and giving much more interest to something that I had just thought of as a child that I never thought would ever, you know, come to anything. Anyway, so she has actually been encouraging me to start doing some sketches of this, of all the different pieces and what we would need, you know, everything from the grappling hook here to the lights to the little propellers in the back that would help push you through the water, all of those things. So I've sort of started sketching some things out in one of her extra notebooks, one of the ones that I didn't burn. And yeah, it's actually been quite fun. I don't know that anything would ever, you know, come of it. At least not for quite a while, probably. But it's been fun to think about, and think about the different components that you would need. And that's another thing Isabelle says. When you're inventing something, sometimes you start with a big idea, but it helps to break it down into smaller things. And then you can sort of tackle one thing at a time. And then eventually you've got everything together. Isabelle's very wise. You know, I mean, she's clever, but she's also wise. And they're two different things, you know. She's very smart and she's good at thinking her way around a problem, but she's also very profound sometimes. Anyway, so I guess I haven't made anything new yet, but I've at least been learning about sketches, and she's been showing me how to sketch something where, you know, someone else could understand it, and how to add the dimensions and the different sort of materials and all those sorts of detailed sketches. So that's been a fun lesson too. Yeah. You know, I do have I have one other thing, and honestly I think it has the potential of being really cool if someone else had made it. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do a good enough job. But maybe with some testing and, you know, asking Isabelle for some help, it could turn into something cool. You want to see it? Okay. I'm not sure what to call this yet. Don't laugh, okay, when you see it. I know it looks maybe a bit strange. But this is one of my new inventions that I've been working on. This is, as you can tell, it's shaped like a little beetle. Actually quite a big beetle, eh? But it is a listening device. So these big things right here, they are transmitters. So sound goes into one side and then it actually comes out this little piece over here. This is, I'm not sure what to call this yet either, but it's sort of a receptor, I guess, of the sound that comes out of this. So this little buggy, basically the idea of it is that this little buggy can go wherever you want, and also some places that maybe you couldn't go yourself. And it can just sort of sit in the corner of a room and it would hear what was going on in the room, and then that sound will come out of here, out of the speakers over here, right there. And so you could hear what the bug hears into places that, you know, maybe you couldn't go. Yeah, and then this is actually how you control it. Now, that's the part that I'm still tweaking a bit. It's a bit clunky moving around, and if it's going to be something that, you know, is a listening device, it shouldn't be very loud. And right now it's sort of, when it crawls around, it makes this big creaking sound and it sounds like a machine. So I'm still sort of working on that. Yeah, maybe it just needs some good lubricant. I don't know, sometimes that makes things better. Anyway, so I'm still sort of working on that piece, but this has actually been quite fun. The question was, how do you make something move without touching it? And Isabelle has actually been working on some different ideas. I found this in one of her notebooks that she was writing about harnessing the energy that's around us in the air and using it to move different things, or using that energy and sort of channeling it through things to make other things happen. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. It's actually sort of the same concept that she had with that, oh, what did she call it? Energy siphon? It was this big thing that had these different little things coming out in it. It drew energy from the air, sort of residual energy, and collected it so that you could use it for something. It's sort of a similar concept to that, except you're actually using the energy as it comes in to do something. In this case, to make a little robotic buggy move across the ground. So, you use these little knobs right here, and then there's some buttons on the side for like forward and backward and things like that, and then the sound comes out right there. Yeah, I think it could be useful, especially for things like, I don't know, if you were a spy and you couldn't go somewhere but you wanted to hear what was happening behind closed doors or something like that. I'm not sure how useful it would be in Whisperwind. Everyone here really seems to trust each other, so I don't know why someone here would need it. But I suppose with that one I was maybe more thinking people in Tivermac. Because, as you know, not everyone in Tivermac is completely wholesome. Not like in Whisperwind. So there might be times when it would be helpful to listen in on a private conversation. Something like that. What? Well, it sort of works. Yeah, does it work? That's sort of a complicated question. I mean, it's a simple question with a complicated answer. It sort of works. It's getting there. I think it's getting there. But like I said, it's still a bit clunky. Honestly, I haven't really had a reason to test it out yet. Because, well, there's not really any sort of private conversations that I feel like I should be privy to. You know what I mean? I would feel awful spying on someone. But I suppose maybe I'll just have to have Isabelle go out in the back or something and just talk. I'll just have to ask her to help me test it and we'll see. But so far, the tests that I've done, just sort of walking the buggy around different places in town, it's actually worked pretty well. Now, it doesn't have a huge range as far as directing the energy to make this go. It, you can really only be like, I don't know, 30 yards away or something like that. I think that's about what the limit was. But, you know, you could be outside of a door and send this under the door and it could be in there, no problem. Something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still learning. Still very much experimenting with things, but hopefully with the encouragement and guidance of Isabelle, things will get better. Oh, you like this? Well, thank you. Oh, no, if Isabelle invented this, I'm sure she could have done a much better job. But thank you. That's sweet of you to say. I would never in my wildest dreams think that someone would compare something that I would make to something that Isabelle could make, so thank you. Thank you for that. Well, maybe someday, once I've learned from her for a good long time. Maybe someday. What? You want to purchase this? Are you serious? I just told you I haven't really done the testing for it. Not nearly enough anyway. I couldn't even guarantee that it would work. You want to buy it from me? I've never had anyone want to buy anything that I made. That's quite a good feeling. Not gonna lie. Are you absolutely sure though? Like I said, I haven't really completely ironed out the kinks or anything. It might not work exactly how you want it to work. You're sure? Well, I mean, I suppose if you take it on your big important journeys that you go on and you have a way to test it, then that would be a very good trial, wouldn't it? Okay. I wouldn't even know how much to charge. I mean, I've never sold anything that I've made before. Oh, that is very generous. I was going to say only half that, really. Oh, thank you so much. Is there something else that I can get you? This is far more than I would have thought. Oh, you want this too? The cuff? Yeah, sure. You like cuffs, do you? Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a bit simpler than that little buggy, but a very practical purchase. So I'll throw this in for free with the price that you gave me for that. No. Please, I insist. The cuff is yours as well, okay? And this I can always make another of. Yeah. I mean, I suppose if you're out somewhere and you're using that buggy and it doesn't work, you bring it back to me and I'll try to fix it, or I'll, you know, figure out what else needs to happen, okay? So please don't just think that you're stuck with it no matter what. But I'm really glad that you like it. That's wonderful. I actually don't really know what to say. Thank you. Thank you so much for your purchase. Yeah, that's quite a good feeling, isn't it? Yeah, almost as fun as making something new. or seeing something that you made work. That's the best feeling. But I think this is a close second. Yeah, I really do. Well, I hope that it is useful for you. I hope you get a lot of use out of it, yeah? That would be great, knowing that something I made is actually useful to someone else. That's incredible. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming in today. Did you need anything else? Anything that maybe Isabelle makes that's a bit better than any of this stuff that I've been showing you? Not today. Okay, well, you know, you come back in a few days and your helmet should be good to go, okay? Okay, well, thank you for stopping by the Brass Menagerie. I'll see you later.